Probably the #1 question that I get asked by new beekeepers is, when do I add another super? I'm going to show you today not only when you add it, but also how to add it in this video. All right, so let's take a peek at this hive today. I'm pretty sure it's going to be ready for a new super. This hive was started from a nuke a few weeks ago, and right now we just have one box. Oh yeah, I can tell just by looking at the top. Come over here and show them the top. The bees are starting to overflow here. So the question is, when do I add a new super? And then also, how do you add a new super? And there's a couple of different ways that you can do it. A lot of it just depends on what your goal is, but I'm going to show you one of my favorite ways to add a new super. All right, if you look here at this super of bees, you can see that every single frame, including the outer frames, all have bees on them. So this is an 8-frame box, and if I pull these outer frames, this is hatching brood here. We have some hatching brood here. And the reason why I'm showing you what's on these frames is it's very important to making your determination. So you can see that this outer frame is all filled with nectar and honey. So all of these frames are covered with bees. So when my rule of thumb is when 80% of the frames are covered with bees, that's when I want to add another super. But look at this. We have a frame of brood here. Thanks for watching. Would you do me a favor and hit like and subscribe to this video? And then also down in the comments, if you have any additional tips from your experience about adding supers, please add them and let's share our knowledge together. And we have a full frame basically of brood here. The thing to remember is that 1 frame of brood equals 2 frames of bees. And so if I don't add another box here, this hive is going to be running out of room, and that's going to trigger a swarming instinct inside of it. So this is definitely the right time to be doing that, because every one of these frames of brood that I have in here, they're going to need 2 frames in order to expand on. So I've got a partially hatched frame of brood there, and the same thing here. This is all larvae, eggs and larvae here. Just kind of checking for my queen. I've got another frame of brood here, another frame of larvae here. So this is actually the perfect time for me to go ahead and add another super. The question is not only though, when do I add a super, but also how do I add a super? So what I like to do, I'm going to show you right now. The super that I'm going to be adding here is all just foundation. I'm out of drawn comb for this year. They've used up every bit that I have on my production hives. So what I'm going to do is I am going to take a couple of frames out of the bottom and checkerboard them here in the top. That's going to cause the bees to want to come up and take care of that brood, get them interested in this top box, and start drawing out this comb much faster. A little pro tip here is don't put a queen excluder on when you're adding a super. Adding a queen excluder will prevent the bees from coming up. In general, it's best to let them draw out all the comb before you add a queen excluder. So let me show you how I'm going to do this today. I'm going to go ahead and take out 3 frames of undrawn foundation here, and then I'm going to take and move 3 frames to this box every other one. like this. Now I've got 5 original frames down here, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go ahead and checkerboard. Now I need to note here that I can get away with this because it's the springtime. I definitely would not be breaking this up the way that I am if this was later in the summer or the fall, but because it's in the spring and everything is very vibrant, I can get away with this. I'm going to leave the 2 frames of brood together here in the middle. And so this is how I like to add another super on. Now I've checkerboarded these on the top, and I just find that if I do it this way, that it makes everything go a lot faster with the bees' interest in this top super. Now they have twice as much room as they had when we started, and I'll be good to go. This hive will be set for several weeks to go. Both of these hives are the exact same age. I added a second super onto this one, but because I had a deep on the bottom and a medium on the top, I couldn't come up and checkerboard some of those frames the way I just showed you on the first video. Let me show you how little interest the bees have taken inside of this hive. They've hardly started to draw out this comb, but if you look down in there, it's not because of lack of bees. There's plenty of bees. So this is the advantage of checkerboarding. So now this has been probably 10 days that this second super has been on here, and they haven't shown any interest. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out a couple of frames that are undrawn, and I have some frames that actually are already drawn out that I extracted some honey out of, and I'm going to go ahead and put those up here. This is going to cause the bees to come up here and be much more interested in this top box. So that's the advantage of checkerboarding. If you have some available drawn out comb or honey or brood to be able to move up here to the top, the bees will come up and take a lot more interest in it. Thanks for joining me today. If you enjoy content like this, please hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video. God bless. Wait a minute, your plan to learn beekeeping is to go down a rabbit trail of random YouTube videos and then buy a bunch of equipment and bees and be successful your first year? I tried that. It doesn't work too good. I lost a lot of money and I was very frustrated until I got a good education. Now I teach beekeeping, and I want to encourage you, if you're a beginning beekeeper, to check out my course called Learn Beekeeping with Ray. It is a comprehensive beginner's beekeeping course with over 40 relevant lessons that will lay a foundation and help you get through your first year. And if you use my name, Ray, at checkout on my website, you can get $20 off the course to help you get started. It's an investment that is worth making.